What's going on, guys? My name is Joey Speaks, and this is Everyday People, the podcast, the mini pod. Okay, so this is my first episode of the mini pod, and what I want to do with this mini pod, how many times am I going to say mini pod? What I want to do with this is basically make a bridge between season 1 that just ended for Everyday People, the podcast, over to season 2. But I want to get a little more personal about some of the things that I do, some of the things that I see. I want to kind of really educate you on what it takes to really prepare yourself mentally and physically, and the things you may need to buy and purchase, if you need to go to a gym or if you need to get dumbbells, whatever the case is, as far as like what you need to prepare to really get yourself in good shape. Okay. And so here's the thing. So this is gonna be a little bit less formal, not like the regular podcast is so formal, but I want to just, like I said, I want to just be you and me, and I'm going to be talking to you like I'm talking to you as if you're sitting in my gym on the couch in my office, and like I'm just, kind of preparing you to get ready to get in the best shape of your life. So the first thing I want to talk about is, what is the process of you becoming a client of a personal trainer? And I'll even kind of expand on that and say, like, what is the process of you just getting ready to get yourself in great shape? Okay, get healthy. Now, as far as becoming a client of mine, I'm going to give you the path that I lead people down. And I would imagine that some personal trainers are similar to me. Some people may have a very different route, and that's okay. Whatever works for somebody else is great, but I do what I do because it works for me and my clients. So here's the deal. So when you become a personal training client of mine, one of the things I found that is the most difficult thing to really hammer out is our schedule. So if you are going to come to my classes are specific times, and those are the times I have my classes. And if you can make those classes, great. If you cannot, we figure something else out. Okay. But if you're going to be a personal training client of mine, is the mic straight? Remember the mic? Yeah. So if you're going to become a personal training client of mine where you're getting private sessions, I have a schedule that is current. And then we need to figure out how your schedule works with my schedule, so we can create, whether you're going to come once, twice, 3 times a week, 4 times a week. And we say, hey, let's just say, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2 p.m., that's going to be yours and my time. Okay. So I didn't realize how difficult it was going to be to really create a schedule for people. But the reality is that everyone has things going on, right? I have my schedule. You have your schedule. And it really is a matter of us just figuring out what's going to work best for us. So that's number 1, is the schedule. Once you get the schedule down, you're good. Number 2, I like to try to answer as many questions for people as I can, because I think that people are very apprehensive, very nervous, very just afraid to get started, because they think, oh, I'm going to be with a personal trainer and he's going to be pushing me and I'm going to throw up and I'm going to feel this way. And no, man, that's not the way that I do it. So there are some personal trainers, and I don't ever criticize other personal trainers and what they do and how they do it. It's what they do. That's not what I do. What I do is I walk you out to the 8 feet. I don't just throw you into the deep end and say, hey, go swim. That's not reality for me. I'm a long-term guy. If you are looking to come in and just lose 20 pounds in a month, of course I could do that for you, but that's not my program. That's not my system. My system is to get you healthy, and that's going to be over a longer period of time. So when it comes to, the way that I'm going to train you, I'm going to teach you. I do not sandbag. I do not say, hey, I'm only going to teach them this much this month so they can stay with me for the next month and the next month. And that's not me. That's not me. I'm going to give you what I got. I'm going to teach you everything that I know for you, because what is going to be for you may not be for the next person. But I am going to give you what I got, okay? Now, I do not give you everything all at the same time, because that's like kind of just opening up the faucet and, hoping that you are going to remember all the crap that I'm telling you. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of information. So I do take steps, and as you're ready for the next thing, I give you the next thing. If you ever ask me a question, whether it's for today or for a month or 2 from now, I will give you the answer, and then I will explain to you what it means to you today and in 2 months. So I do not sandbag. I give you what I got, and I teach you as much as I can, because when a client is a client of mine, if and whenever they leave me, I want them to never have to walk into a gym and say, hey, what do I do with this machine? How do I do that exercise? How do I do my calories? What are macros? That should never be a question that you ask if you're ever a client of mine, okay? So I try to give you as much as I can, and I explain as much as I can. The next thing, I have one specific session that takes anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes more than an hour, where I go over calories and macros. It is a very in-depth conversation. I know you can't see it over here, but I have my whiteboard right here in the gym, and I go over, I start from the top. What is a calorie? A calorie is a unit of energy, and we go from there, from the top down. Calories are king, and then macros are next, okay? And just so you know, calories are gas for your body, or basically think of the gas you put in your car to let your car drive. The calories are the energy, are the units of energy that you eat from your proteins, carbs, and fats, okay? So calories, proteins, carbs, fats, calories, and macros, I explain those in detail, and I give numbers based on kind of what I think I see from someone who's brand new, but at the same time, they're not specific to that person until I get with them and I find out the foods they like. Okay, next. I create a customized meal plan for everyone who wants a meal plan, because there are some people who just want to come train. Some people who just want to do boxing. Some people want to just come work out. They say, hey, you know, thank you, but no thank you. I don't want a meal plan. Cool. I don't push, I don't force, I don't anything, but I offer it, okay? So for a meal plan, what I do is I will ask you, I specifically text you, hey, what are your favorite proteins, carbs, fats, vegetables, fruits, even though fruits are carbs. I try to make it specific to each person. And what are your favorite, you know, proteins, carbs, fats, vegetables, fruits? What are your least favorite proteins, carbs, fats, vegetables, fruits? I try to create a meal plan for you based on the information that you give me in that return text. Okay. So when I say I customize a plan for you, I literally customize it for you based on what you give me. And the most interesting thing that I see that people realize is that they're typically eating a lot of the same food that I would give them anyway. It's the structure of a meal plan that makes the difference. It's the portion control of a meal plan that makes a difference. It's the way that you set things up and the way that you set your day up that goes to the way that you eat, okay? Almost, I would say 99.9% of people think that they know their portions, and you just don't. If you don't measure, you don't know. You think you know until you know. You don't know until you know, right? Yeah. So I give you a meal plan specifically based on you, and then I will tell you, hey, for 1 week, I need you to eat the same thing 7 days in a row. And most people are like, oh my God, I can't eat the same thing 7 days in a row. And it's a fair reply. It's a fair reply. But there's a couple things that go on with that, okay? Number one, it gives me a baseline, not only of if the number of calories that I give you works, but what it also does is it proves to you that if you put your mind to something, you can do it. It's like kind of hurdle number one. I don't even know why I'm telling you this, but I'm telling you this because it's something that I want to do, because we could do it differently. But I like to see what are you gonna offer yourself? What are you gonna give for yourself to be able to do this? Are you willing to sacrifice eating the same thing every day for 7 days? Cool. When you are, that's step number one. Okay. So I give you a meal plan. And then here's the thing. Regardless of, depending on what your goal is, most people are here to lose weight. Some people are here to gain weight. Some people are here to gain muscle. Whatever the case is, after a week, I will see if the number of calories I've given you are reaching your goal. If you want to lose weight, I want you to be around anywhere from like 2 to 4 pounds a week, depending on how many pounds you need to lose if you're here for weight loss. If you're trying to gain weight, you're not going to be gaining weight the way that you lose weight, okay? Because I'm not going to give you such an excess number of calories where you're going to be just, putting crazy weight on. But the reason why you would lose weight quicker is because chances are you probably think that you're not eating as much as you are. And then when I put you on a specific number, you're like, man, I just lost 7 pounds in a week. Now, that's too aggressive, but it happens all the time. It happens. Let's say I give someone 1,800 calories and I lose seven pounds in a week. I up their calories immediately. That's what the first week does, is it gives me a baseline for you. And then we adjust from there. If you lose 2-3 pounds in a week, on your first week, that's probably a good number for you, depending on how many pounds you got to lose. If you only have to lose 10 pounds, that's a little aggressive. If you have to lose 20 or 25 pounds, that's probably going to be right on time. So everything is a test. Everything is a test. So it is not just, like, hey, this guy is charging me money to work me out and tell me to eat, chicken, broccoli, and asparagus and da. It's not that, at least not for me. I get to know you. I ask you specific questions so that I can give you specific answers that will be specific to you and the way that you want to reach your goal. Your goals are not going to be my goals. My goals are not going to be your goals. So I have to get to know you. Okay, so that's the meal plan part. I can go into more detail about that, but I won't. Okay, next, then the workouts. What is your goal? If you want to gain size and gain muscle, you're going to be lifting hard and heavy, man. Your reps are going to probably be a little bit lower. Your sets are going to maybe be a little bit higher. If you want to, tone up and gain muscle, gaining muscle is actually called hypertrophy. When you want to be in the hypertrophy zone, you have to be doing a certain number of reps, a certain number of sets. That is going to lend itself to growing your muscle or hypertrophy. So depending on what your goal is, I create the plan for you based on that. And then I give you everything all in my app, the Joey Speaks Fitness app. And that's where you can track your meals that I give you from the meal plan. And then you can see exactly what you did, how it worked for you. Did you lose weight? Did you gain weight? You can always go back and see what those foods were, what the number of calories were. How did you work out? Did you like this workout? You can actually even leave me a note in the app saying, hey, Joey, this workout was great, but I hate you. like making me do all these burpees. And so whatever the case is, like, you can leave me notes for what happened, how you feel, how it went. Like, oh, you only gave me 20 pounds. I need 30 pounds. So like, the app does everything. In the app, you also will upload your progress pictures. You'll upload your measurements. You'll upload your weight. So like, everything happens in the app. Everything lives in the app. And you are able to literally just go into the app and see where you've been, where you're at, and you can really predict where you're going. That's fitness. Okay. So becoming a client of mine, I basically just kind of gave you the route of, you call me or you come in to see me. We have a conversation. Hey, come back and, let me show you the gym. We sit down, we talk, and then we talk numbers, right? And then so once everything is all good to go, the first week or two is a big test, man. It's a big test. I will never ever tell someone, hey, you're going to lose this much weight, or you're going to gain this much strength, or you're going to gain this much muscle. I don't know. I can give you the info, but you got to do the work. So while I give it to you, you got to give it back to me. It's a relationship that we have, that we create, and that we really just carry forward. Okay, so that's the deeper Cliff Notes version of becoming a client of mine. And one more thing about becoming a client of mine. If you're a private client, we have specific sessions that we do. I also will want you to be doing something on your own. Maybe you have a treadmill at home. Maybe you have a membership to a gym. I might give you some cardio to do. I might give you some weights to do at home. So it's not just if you see me twice a week, you're only getting two workouts. I give you that work. I give you the work toward your goal. If you're a group client of mine, I just expanded on my group classes, so we have many more group classes to choose from. You'll be in the group, but then also, man, like, you can hit me anytime. Say, hey, man, what should I do? I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to San Diego, and they have a gym at the hotel. What should I do? I hit you with a little quick workout, and we go from there. So once you hire me as your trainer, I'm yours. And my job is to make sure that you reach your goals. That's at the end of it. That's it. My job is to make sure you reach your goals. We create a really good relationship along the way, and it turns into a good thing. Okay, so that is the process of you becoming a personal training client of mine, group or private. All right, so, and if you have any questions on this stuff, please leave me comments. Please reach out to me directly. I'm more than happy to answer any other questions. Have you come out to the gym, check it out. There's some new things that will be going on at the gym. My son's gonna be doing a 6 a.m. class. I got some other things happening too. It's just a lot of stuff. The challenges come in. Okay, so next, what's next? So what are a few things you should have or be prepared to have to start a program? Okay. So once I give you the meal plan, you need to go shopping. Okay. You need to get specific foods to make sure that you're satisfying these items that I put on your meal plan. So you got to go shopping for the foods that I give you. Yeah. Once we see that the meal plan works, then I'm able to give you food exchanges. So you don't have to eat, meal 1, meal 2, meal 3 every single day after that first week. I'll give you exchanges, but because I know what your baseline is, if the exchanges that I give you are not as, if they don't work as well for you, we always can go back to the original. That's the cool thing, is that when you get your baseline, your numbers, the food. When I give you the exchanges, let's just say, like, if we switch out brown rice for let's say pasta, let's just say, and the pasta is not performing for your body as well as the brown rice is, we can swap it. Okay. So you can have brown rice every once in a while, but maybe not as much as you were hoping, but it's still an item you can swap. Okay. So need to go shopping for the food that we agree on. Next, when you are working out, so, and I could talk about the meals and the diet forever, and it's its own video. Actually, I need to make a video just on the meals. But so let's talk about the workout a little bit. So when you're going to be working out, the first thing you probably need, well, number one, you need to make sure that you're cleared with your doctor, that everything's good with your doctor. If they say go, we go. If you have any physical limitations, you got to let me know. If you have any injuries, any, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, whatever your case is, the more I know about you, the more I can help you. Now, actually being in the gym, you need workout gloves. So I got these rough ass hands. Okay. I got calluses across all 4 fingers on both hands. I've been playing baseball since I was 8 years old. And I mean, I have calluses everywhere. And for me, calluses are like a badge of honor, not for everybody. That's not what people are looking for. A good pair of gloves is probably your number one thing you need to, I wouldn't say it's your number one thing, but it's one of the things you need to really, really get to where you're not going to be messing up your hands. Okay. Aside from the calluses, some of the handles are pretty rough and they can hurt a little bit. So gloves are good. Now, the number one item that I suggest for anybody, whether you're a client or not, is a heart rate monitor. A heart rate monitor will tell you where your heart rate is at that moment. It will tell you how many calories you're burning, what your average heart rate is. It just gives you everything. It tells you what your max heart rate is. It tells you what your average is. It tells you what your low is. And it really tells a story. It really tells a story. So a heart rate monitor for me as your personal trainer will allow me to push you harder or back you off. There are some people whose heart rate gets up very, very high, and I'll tell them, hey, stop, walk around, go outside, get some water. Don't stop moving, but you got to start working out for a minute, let your heart rate come down, jump back in. Okay. Now, if someone's heart rate is at 125 and we just did burpees, they're not going hard enough. Okay. Then I got to push them. The heart rate monitor helps me keep you safe, but it also helps me push you and pull you back when I need to. Okay. Now, as a trainer or as a coach, the people we have to pull back, those are the ones you have to save from themselves. Those are the people who are going to get it. If you're always having to push somebody, always having to push somebody, chances are they don't really want it. It may catch them eventually to where they're like, okay, finally I got it. Okay, and cool. And that's my job, is to push you, motivate you, but not just motivate you, but keep you accountable. And you may not like it, but chances are you need it. And when you get it, then eventually you'll do it. Okay. So heart rate monitor is the number one tool that I need as a personal trainer for you, and you need for yourself to track what you're doing and keep yourself safe with your heart rate. Okay. All right. Next. So I like to use batting gloves for my gloves. I don't like the gloves with pads on the front because I don't care about my calluses. I just like to have something between my hands and the bars that I'm using. Just something super thin. That's just my preference. And I've actually noticed a lot more people using batting gloves. I'd like to think I started a trend like that, but I probably didn't. But whatever, let's just act like I did. So I did. So I like batting gloves. Some people don't. Whatever. And then you can also get they're called straps. So like a good friend of mine bought me some. They're called Versa grips, and what they are is when you're doing any kind of pull exercise, you could wrap it around the bar while it's attached to your wrist, and it will help you not have to be concerned with your grip quite so much because it is attached to your wrist. So Versa grips really help you with good pull exercises, and then you can just get regular good old fashioned weightlifting straps as well. And then there are also, so I have my gloves, I have my Versa grips, and what else do I have in my bag? Honestly, that's it. I think, oh no, I have wrist wraps. So I typically don't like Versa grips and wrist wraps and stuff. The less I have on my body when I work out, the better. I'm either super sleeved up and sweatsed out, like where no skin is showing, or I'm wearing shorts and a tank top, or I'm either really clothed up or really clothed down. I'm nowhere in between. But wrist wraps, especially if you have any kind of wrist issues, when you're going heavy, like when you're bench pressing or something like that, it really does help support your wrist. So those are some things that I like to use when needed. I don't use them all the time. I keep them in my bag just in case if I need them, if I want them, and they're there. And they're real small, and they're convenient, and they do help if you need the help, okay? And there's nothing wrong with using those. You're not cheating. It's none of that. It's just a better way for you to lift, okay? All right. And then we can talk more about what you should keep in your bag in the other videos. I want to keep these videos more or less shorter than the other ones. So I'm going to kind of go a little bit quick here. But if you have any other questions about anything that you can put in your bag, let me know in the comments, okay? All right, last thing we're going to talk about in this first episode of the mini pod. What are some realistic goals? Okay, what are some realistic goals for not just if you're just starting a program, but just in general? When it comes to goals, I think that especially, like I'm getting older like everybody else is, right? And, the first thing I think, I'm going to get back in the program. I'm going to do this, and this. Well, those, this, and this were things I did 25, 30 years ago. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, yeah, that's great. Yeah, do that. And then I start doing it and then like, bing, then I'm hurt. Bing, then I'm like, I'm down. Then I can't work out for a week. No. You need to be realistic with yourself. You need to be realistic with yourself. And that does not mean make a powder puff goal. That just means you got to be realistic with what you can do now at the point in your life where you're at right now. I cannot do today what I did just 10 years ago, 20 years ago, definitely 30 years ago, right? So I have a shirt, maybe you guys have seen it in some of my videos, it says, take some when you can get some. I take some when I can get some. And that came from when I'm on my hiking trail. Running for me is a puzzle because of my hip and my knee, but whatever. So I cannot run the entire trail, even though I want to. I cannot. But what I can do is I can take some when I can get some. When I feel good, boom, I take off. And I might run for, I don't know, quarter mile, eighth of a mile, half a mile, and then stop and walk. I take some when I can get some. I'm realistic now about what I can do. I stopped trying to be the 17-year-old Joey or the 25 or the 31-year-old Joey, and I'm the 54-year-old Joey, and I do what I can do, and I do that as good as I can, okay? So I want you to be realistic about what you can do. Now, if you're on the older side, and I mean, once you're past 40, 45, and it's not just your age, but it's your lifestyle that will dictate what I'm about to say. You may not be able to lose weight and gain muscle like you did when you were 20, okay? Your lifestyle will dictate that along with our age, okay? It's not just our age, it's our lifestyle as well. So that's one of the big reasons why I am a long-term personal trainer. I am not a guy that's going to say, hey, I'm going to make you lose this much weight in this much time, and then you don't need me anymore. That's not it. It's a lifetime thing. It's what can you do today that's going to affect next month, and then the next month. You're compounding your health on top of each other. And you don't even realize how strong you're getting. You don't realize how much weight you've lost. You don't realize how much muscle you've gained until you look back and you're like, holy crap, that was me before. And like, look at me now. It's a long-term thing, guys. Life is a long game. It just really is. It just really is. So when it comes to goals, I want you to be realistic. When it comes to losing weight, a healthy way to look at losing weight is if you could, and this depends on how much weight you need to lose. Let's say you need to lose 30 pounds. I'm just throwing a number out there. You want to look longer term over months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. And you want to keep it to about 2 pounds, anywhere from 1.5 pounds up to 3, 4 pounds max per week. And that's not going to be consistent. It's going to be like this. So think about a chart. Here's your weight when you're up here, and then this is where you want to end up. You're not going to go like this. You're going to go like this. A little bit up, come back down a little bit more. Go across, go up, come back down. So it's a roller coaster on the way down, but you're never going to just go straight down. So if you are trying to lose weight and you have anywhere from like 25, 30, 35 pounds to lose, if you can consistently be anywhere between 1.5 pounds up to about 4 pounds, like I said, 4 pounds is aggressive, and that's if you are on a higher end of the 30, 35 pounds to lose. That's 1.5 to 3 or 4 pounds. That's usually going to be a pretty solid place to be. Don't quote me on that specifically. I'm giving you some general numbers on where you can kind of wrap your mind around of where you need to be. Everything is going to be specific to you. You will hear me say that so often. I cannot stress enough that you shouldn't be listening to what I tell somebody else and apply it to yourself. Anyway, so anywhere from 1.5 pounds up to about 3 or 4 pounds, depending on how much weight you have to lose. And this is why it's important to have a personal trainer. And honestly, this is not me trying to sell you my service. It's me trying to educate you on what you need in order to really, really be able to get healthy. Okay. And you notice I didn't even say hit your goals. I said get healthy. You will hit your goals as you become healthy. All right, guys. So that's going to be a wrap for the first episode of the mini pod. I really love talking to you like this. And I really am looking for you guys to leave me some comments of things that you want me to cover. I have a host of topics. I have a laptop that says so. I have a host of topics that I want to cover. But if there's something specifically that you guys want me to talk about, this is the time. These mini pods in between seasons, I'm not even sure how many weeks I'm going to do, but I really want to give you guys more specific information about how you can get in better shape without a trainer, without a gym. We're going to go into like doing workouts at home, dumbbells, resistance bands, all that kind of stuff. There's so many ways to do it, man. There's so many ways to do it. My goal is to help as many of you guys get in shape, be healthy, live longer, just be happier. All right, guys. I love this first episode. This is awesome. I hope you guys like it. Please leave me some comments. Please leave me some feedback. Whatever you guys give me, I'm going to try to give right back to you. Okay. All right, guys. I will see you in the next video.